This video is putting it all together. You're going to be solving all types of logarithmic and exponential equations, all mixed in together. So here we go. Now, remember, you want to keep your eyes on x. Try to find out where x is and isolate it, okay? So in this first one, x is in the base of the logarithm. So I need to get rid of the logarithm, so I'm going to swirl it. So I say x to the 1.5 equals 3. Now we said before, we're going to convert a 1.5 decimal to a fraction. Well, 1.5 is 3 halves, right? So if I write it as 3 halves, remember we said if x is in the base, I need to multiply by the reciprocal power. So flip that 3 halves over to 2/3. This becomes 1, so x to the first power, and I put in my calculator 3 to the 2/3 power, and I get 2.08. Right? Look at number 2. Log of 127 equals x. Now, this one's simple because it's log base 10, and we have a base 10 log button on our calculator. So all you're going to do is plug in the calculator. The reason you can do that is because it is a base 10 right there, that unwritten 10. So when you do, you get x equals 2.10, and we're going to round to 2 decimals like before. All right? Look at this one. Log base x is 17.9 equals 3 halves. Now remember the rule. Remember, whatever you're taking, whatever is right here can never ever be negative. We talked about that earlier. Just remember that as we go along. I'm not going to give you any that start that way, but just keep that in mind. But to solve this, x is in the base, so I need to swirl it to get it as an exponent. X to the negative 3/5 power equals 17.9. Right? Now, can the power be negative? Sure, power can be negative, but the answer is not going to be negative. That's what's happening here. The answer is not going to be negative. The power can be negative. So now that I have an exponent form, I need to raise it to a reciprocal power. So negative 5/3 power. Do that on both sides of my equation. Over here, this becomes a positive 1. And in this side, I'm going to put it in my calculator. 17.9 times negative 5/3 power, and I get 0.01. Next one. Okay, look, x is over here, so you're just going to use your calculator. But remember, you have a base of 7, so I have to use the math button, up arrow, and use the log base option. This is a log base. And when you do that, you have to enter in the 7 for the base and the 6/5. Make sure you put parentheses around that before you hit enter. When you do, you're going to get 0.09. All right, so I know you don't have calculators on you, but that's the process when you get them. Number 5. Okay, now we have logarithms on both sides of the equal sign. They have the same base, so if we can get them on the same side, I can condense it. All right, so I'm going to subtract 6 log base 6 of 2 from both sides. So when I do, I get log base 6 of x minus 6 log base 6 of 2. And now it will equal 0. Okay, don't forget about that. It's important. Now that I have 2 logs of the same base on the left, I can condense it. So since it's a minus, I'm going to do division. So log base 6 of x over, remember this 6 is the power rule, so it's going to come over here. 2 to the 6th power equals 0. Now I'm going to swirl it. 6 to the 0 power equals x over 2 to the 6th is 64. Okay? Well, 6 to the 0 power is simply 1. So this is really equal to 1. Okay, so I need to get rid of the fraction, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 64. So I get 64 equals x, and that's my solution. All right, on number 6, x is in the power. So in order to get it out of the power, remember I have to take a logarithm on both sides. So I take the logarithm of 3 to the x power equals the logarithm of 12. Now I use the power rule to move that x in front. Divide out the logarithms. divided by logarithm of 3. So x will equal, and this is something I'm just going to plug into the calculator, log of 12, close your parenthesis, divided by the log of 3, close your parenthesis. When you do, you get 2.26. Now, I want you to try this one on your own. We'll start here when we get to class and hope you have found your solution. If you don't have a calculator at home and you need one, just do as much as you can without. Okay? We'll see you then.